Hello and welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. In this one I want to return to the topic of woman, male-female relations, the dynamics between the sexes, and why men and women aren't pair bonding anymore, really, because across the West, yes, but really across the world now, I think, apart from Africa, and maybe certain regions, in general, birth rates are plummeting. Men and women aren't really pair bonding. Fewer and fewer people are getting married. If they do get married, they get divorced. It's not too rosy out there, yes. And I created. Well, I wrote this article this morning. I haven't submitted it yet on Medium. I've submitted it to a publication called Right Catalyst. Let's see if people agree with me. But I thought it was necessary to speak about the issue straight away, really, because we are living in these chaotic times, yes, and this is quite an urgent issue. And I also wrote this article, and I'm creating this video now because I received some feedback for a previous video that I made about women, about the toxic nature of women. Perhaps I was a bit too biased during that video. So now I want to make amends and provide another perspective. I think overall I was very balanced during this article that I wrote, and now I'll present this balanced nature through the speech act, through the act of speaking. So let's get into it. I began my article with this quote. I just found it online, just looking for a relevant quote, and this one was made by Oliver Marcus Mallaloy. He said this. He wrote this, and this is what you have to say: being faithful and monogamous is not natural for human beings. It takes work. Deep down, we all know that. Yes, this is true. It's very difficult to stay in a loving relationship, to maintain your relationship, to be faithful. It requires commitment, it requires compromise, it requires work from both the man and the woman. And it's not easy, yes. It's not easy. It's difficult. So I think by nature, men and women are more promiscuous by nature, yes. So, and I'll go into this soon. So birth rates are plummeting across the West, yes. Men and women are not pair bonding. Why? So we need to change this. Otherwise, no children, no future, really. Do we want to live in this dystopian landscape full of robots, full of AI, full of computers? I don't think I do. I don't want to. I'd rather live in a society where everyone's having children. Yes. Personally, I want a couple of children. Maybe I'm not ready yet, but I'm definitely more mature than before. I still need to solve some issues in my life. I still have some problems that I need to solve and overcome. But I think overall I'm on the right path. I'm more mature, and yes, I would like to have a couple of children, ideally a family. But yes, in these times it's not easy. Yes. So let's first talk about the cultural malaise. And this cultural malaise, it began in the 1960s with free love. This was the beginning of the end. This time, I think. Sex was divorced from reproduction. because of the contraceptive pill, because of condoms, etc. All of these new devices, yes, we could call them devices. All of these new devices, all of these new inventions, they granted women sexual freedom, yes, and so yes, there was just a fly, so this fly was annoying me. It's now left. So yes, this women have been granted sexual freedom, and they have capitalized on it. And a lot of women, they engage in licentious activities without thinking about the consequences. Now, of course, men do the same. Yes, men do the same. But I think that there is a key difference here. Yes, men don't have children. Yes, but women do, and it's more acceptable and more reasonable for men to have many partners. Yes, whereas if a woman does this, then this is not good. Yes, so. Yes, I mean, in the long run, such a trend will, it only leads to negative consequences for all. Yes, for both for men and for women, and a lack of trust between the sexes. And we can see this now. There's a lot of tension between men and women. I think a lack of trust, a lot of tension. They're not men and women. They're not pair bonding. They're not forming families. So it's a shame, really. And I think it all began here. It all began back in the 1960s. And yes, well, I forgot to add that it's easier for women to get an abortion. This has also contributed to the demise. What else? Yes, I mentioned the contraceptive pill. I mentioned condoms. Yes, in general, the culture promotes degenerate activity. Yes, and I was caught up in this as well. I was caught up in this promiscuous lifestyle for a bit. After I left high school, when I went to university, I was caught up in this slightly for a few years. I wasn't involved all the time, but yes, definitely for a number of years, I was involved in this world. Yes, so we shouldn't blame ourselves. Yes, but we should also blame the culture, because we are born into this culture, and when the culture is toxic, we get caught up in this toxicity. Yes, so yes, we need to be more compassionate towards ourselves. Yes, because we can still reverse this trend. I think to a degree we can reverse this trend, but it just takes work. So now, moving on, I'd like to talk about hypergamy. So women by nature, they are hypergamous, and this is not a bad thing. I mean, this is what women have to do. Yes, because they want to produce the best offspring. Yes, they select for the best male, for the best men, because they want to make sure that he is competent, that he will be able to provide, etc. That he's financially stable, that his genes are good. Yes, that the children that the woman will give birth to will be healthy, strong, etc. So this is natural. This is normal. This is just biology. Yes, and such a strategy makes sense. There's nothing wrong with this. I wouldn't criticize women. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. But I think now it's just been distorted too much because of social media. I think social media it creates this idea in women's minds that they deserve like so much. I think it leads to women having unrealistic expectations when it comes to men and the opposite sex, and therefore they completely disregard the vast majority of men. I think who are actually quite competent. They're normal. They're functional. They're competent. They can provide. They're financially stable, but they're completely disregarded. Yes. They're good looking, even. Yes, many of these men, they're handsome, or at least they're not ugly. Really, they just look normal. They look normal. Yes, I think this hypergamy has been distorted too much. Yes. So now women, they only chase top 10% of women of men. I think maybe top 20%. It's more like 10% now, I think. And you can find a lot of YouTubers talking about this. So I think another reason for this is feminism. So feminism has granted greater political and economic freedoms to women, and they have decided that they'd rather just be single or with other women. They're not really interested in men. Perhaps this was always the case. Because in the past, I guess women, they needed men to survive, but now because women, they don't really need men to survive. Yes, they can survive on their own. So they don't want to be with a man. I guess well, yes, if they want this, then fair enough. If that's the life that they want, then okay. Well, it's up to them really. I mean, I think in general, men and women, they're going their separate ways. A lot of men are discovering the fact that a single life is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I mean, I've been single for a while. And I'm enjoying my life. I love my life at the moment. I have to say, I'm very happy. My mental health has never been better. I think it's never been better. I've got this dog. I've got my beautiful beagle with me. I've got all these books, all the books that I've read in the past, and then I've got many books that I still want to read. I've got other hobbies, and I'm filling up my time, and I'm really enjoying my life. And yes, being single is not really an issue for me. Ideally, I would like, as I said before, I would like to have a couple of children. I'd like to have a family. I think I will be ready maybe in a year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. It's up to God, I guess. But yes, this is what's happening. Yes, men and women are going their separate ways in general. Now, I guess an idea, not an idea, but a thought that comes to mind is whether women will be able to manage, yes, a lonely lifestyle. Because it's easier for men to be alone. It's easier for men to deal with loneliness, I think. But for women, it's much more difficult. When these women, when they get older and they realise that they're on their own, they don't have any children, they've just got a cat, then they might regret their past actions. Now, I'd like to move on and talk about the economic forces and the attendant societal changes that arise because of this. So, the economy has a massive impact on our life. Well, we don't really control the economy. We don't have an influence on the economy because the economy is the sum of different forces, interactions between people, between nations, etc. So we don't have much sway over this, and therefore when the economy is on a downward spiral, it affects us subconsciously, and we can't really plan for the future. It's difficult to commit. It's difficult to plan for the future. It's difficult to commit to a marriage because we don't know. Will we have enough money to survive? Will we be able to provide for these children? And so this is another reason why I understand, why men and women are going their separate ways and not having children. I understand this trend. So much chaos in the world at the moment, so much change taking place, and it's difficult to find your footing. So, and yes, I mean, I would add now that a lot of men, they're not growing up really. I think a lot of men, they're delaying the process of adulthood. They've got Peter Pan syndrome, and I definitely noticed this about myself. I behaved perhaps like Peter Pan, and in the long run, this is not good. you need to finally become an adult and mature. You need to, enter adulthood. And yes, as I just mentioned, a lot of men, they're not really growing up. They're delaying the process of adulthood, and this further complicates matters. A lot of men, they're playing video games all the time, or they're just doing strange activities. They're engaging in strange activities, and this is not healthy. I mean, playing a bit of video games with your friends online, like an hour a week or something, is okay. A couple of hours a week, but if you play a lot, then it's not good. And I remember I still played a lot of video games when I was 18, 19, 20, I think. But then, when I turned 20 years old, I think I was 20. Yeah, well, yes, when I was around 20, or just before I turned 20, I stopped. I made the decision that no, enough is enough. It's time to enter the next stage of life. So yes, and then I would also add that testosterone levels in men have been falling for a while. Sperm counts are falling. So this is a chemical process. This is a physiological chemical process. And this can be reversed to a degree. I've been able to reverse this. Whereas my testosterone levels in the past were definitely much lower, but now they're higher than before. I'm still trying to boost my levels by engaging in biohacking, which really helps, and for sure this impacts how men behave and act towards the opposite sex, because when men have lower testosterone, they're more fearful, they're more anxious, and they are afraid, yes, of the opposite sex. Yes, we could say. So this has definitely contributed to the issue for sure. But yes, I mentioned that men are immature. I think a lot of women they are also immature. Yes, because they're still engaging in this promiscuous activity. They're still in dreamland, in fairyland. I guess they're like there was Peter Pan and there was Tinkerbell, the little fairy, little Tinkerbell. I think her name was. This little fairy, in Peter Pan. Yes, so. Women are also a lot of women are also immature, yes, and I noticed this in a lot of women. A lot of women they're not mature, they're not fit for a serious relationship. Moreover, many women they have had multiple partners in the past. It's not attractive to men. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to spill the beans. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm sorry that I'm breaking the ice. I'm sorry that I'm saying these uncomfortable things, but it has to be said. Many women have had multiple partners in the past, and this is not attractive to men. This is not attractive to many men. I mean, a lot of men will fall for these women, but a lot of men also know that it's better to stay away. It's better to stay away and delay, yes, and wait a bit longer and find a better woman. So yes, a lot of these women they had multiple partners in the past, perhaps even children from a previous marriage. This is also unattractive. I don't want to raise another man's child. Really, this is not really my mentality. Yes, I mean there are men who adopt children, and I respect this. Yes, and this is great. Yes, I mean there's nothing wrong with this. I'm just saying I'm just not like this. I don't think I could do this. I don't think I could raise another man's child because it's not mine. It's not my genes. It's not a reflection of me. Yes, so this is just me being honest. Yes, and therefore yes. Overall, these women they don't interest us. They don't interest us, and we don't want to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. It's not even possible to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. These women, they're not fit for a relationship because they got too many issues, too much trauma from the past, too many issues, and they're just not attractive, unfortunately. They may be attractive physically, but for a long-term relationship, it doesn't make sense. so there's that. Now, let's talk about solutions, yes? Because I've been quite negative so far. I mentioned at the beginning that I'll strive to provide some solutions. So, in the past, I was a massive pessimist, nihilist, always negative, 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 negative. But we can change our life. It all begins with our thought patterns. We need to think more positively. We need to engage in positive habits. We need to notice our own sinful nature. We need to notice the fact that we were also part of this culture, that we also cause damage. And yeah, it begins with this, yes. Personally, I think we need to return to Christianity. Obviously, there are many religions around the world, but I am firmly associated with the world of Christianity. Well, yes. I'm quite Christian in my mode of thinking, yes. So I think we need to return to Christianity. We need to return to virtue. We need to become more virtuous. We need to hope for the best. We have to hope. We shouldn't maintain this negative attitude all the time. It doesn't help us. Because your thoughts, they do affect your reality. And you can shape your mind to a degree. You can change your thought patterns. This is possible. I've experienced this. You are able to do this. We can't expect miracles, but you can change your life to a degree. You do have some influence. You do have some sway over your destiny. So this is key, yes. And then I guess ultimately we need to overcome fear and start to love. We need to trust God and His plan for us in meeting the right person. We just have to be patient. So, I mean, these are the only solutions I have at the moment. Really, they're quite maybe a bit cringe. What I just said, a bit bland, a bit general. But I don't know if there's anything else to say really. It is what it is. This is the situation we find ourselves in, and hopefully it can change. Hopefully the birth rates start going up again, and men and women are, hopefully men and women start forming families again, because we need this to happen. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I don't want to talk more. Don't want to waste your time. 22 minutes, so it wasn't too long. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting. Let me know what you think. Comment if you agree, if you disagree. Provide some other solutions, perhaps. And yeah, I'm very interested in what people have to say. This is my experience in general, and this is my view. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I think overall I was quite balanced. I wasn't anti-men or anti-women. I tried to be quite balanced, Obviously, perhaps there is a bit of a bias because I'm a man, obviously. I'm going to be biased, yes. I mean, women, they're biased as well, so yes. So yes, if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing. It will help me grow the channel. Yes, in general, like and subscribe. It will help me grow the channel. And share more vital information. I think will help a lot of people out there. Anyway, once again, thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best. Take care.